Assalamu alaikum. Hope you all are good. Today we'll be studying about computer networks. The type of computer networks. There are three main types of computer networks: LAN, local area network, MAN, metropolitan area network, and WAN, which stands for wide area network. First is LAN. LAN, or the local area network, is a network of computers in a small geographical area, such as in a home, in a school, or in closed buildings. LAN is the most common type of network and usually comes under one organization. In LAN, as you can see in the diagram, all the different devices, computers and printers are connected to each other using a switch. Next is MAN. A MAN, or metropolitan area network, is a network that covers larger graphical area. It is larger than a LAN but smaller than a WAN. It can be a building and offices in a city. For example, you have a main office in Mardan, and the branch office and warehouse and the factory are also present in Mardan but at different locations. In such case, MAN is used. Next is WAN. WAN, or the wide area network, covers the largest geographical area. It can be a state, a province, a country, or even the whole world. It connects smaller multiple networks such as LANs and different MANs. Internet is the best example of WAN. Next topic is communication devices. We know that communication devices helps in communication and usually consist of a modem. Most commonly used communication devices are Dialup Modem and NIC, or the Network Interface Card. A Dialup modem is used to connect to the internet. Using the internet, you can get access to large amount of information and send and receive files. You must have seen this device at your home or some other place that gives you the internet. It is a wireless modem. It uses Wi-Fi or Bluetooth to transmit data. Other types of dial-up modem are internal modem, which is present inside the motherboard, and external modem, which can be attached externally to your PC. External is more expensive than the internal modem, but is more useful. Most commonly, all these type of modems bring internet to you using telephone lines. Another most commonly used communication device is Network Interface Card. NIC, or the Network Interface Card, is a hardware device that creates a link between computer and the network cable that you plug into your computer. NIC is a circuit board that is placed inside the computer. Every NIC has a unique serial number through which it is recognized in a network, just like you are recognized in your school by your name or ID. It performs various functions such as sending data to other computers, called the host. A host is a computer that receives data. It can also receive data then convert it to binary for the computer to understand. Besides, it prepares the computers for network cable, which can be plugged into the computer, and it controls the flow of data. Our next topic is types of transmission media. We know that a transmission media is the pathway between devices in a network through which the data is being transmitted or sent. And we have also studied that a media can be wired or wireless. Now let's study about wired media. A wired media is also called physical media because it is physically present, unlike the wireless media, and can be touched. It is basically a cable through which the data flows in the form of signals. Now, these data cables depend upon the physical characteristics of the cable. There are various types of media or cables. Some of the most common ones are twisted pair, coaxial cable, and optical fiber. Twisted pair cable is the most commonly used transmission media. It is made up of two copper wires that are twisted around each other. The copper wires have a solid copper in the center and a layer of covering of plastic insulation coated around the copper wire. One of the two wires is used for positive signal and carries the signal, while the other one is negative and carries the ground reference. Because of the twisted nature of the wires, the data has to travel a longer distance as compared to straight copper wires. Therefore, the transmission of data is relatively slow. It is usually used in LAN because LANs are smaller networks. The twisted pair cables are further divided into two types: the shielded twisted pair cable and the unshielded twisted pair. The shielded twisted pair STP. In STP, the two twisted cables are enclosed in a foil cover. This foil coverage helps in reducing interference. Interference is something undesirable because it causes unwanted noise in the signal. Besides this, the covering also prevents the wires from leaking data. If the data is leaked from the wire, then the data is lost, and we have missing chunks of data at the other end. The other type of twisted pair is the unshielded twisted pair. As evident from the name, it does not have a protective shield around it. It does not have a cover, due to which it has problems like interference, which causes noise and data leakage. Therefore, it is used for small distances up to 1 kilometer and in telephone lines. Next is the coaxial cable. In a coaxial cable, copper cables are not twisted together, but one is covering the other, separated by a layer of plastic. So this is what a coaxial cable looks like. The innermost part is a conductor made up of copper, then is a layer of insulation made up of plastic, then again a layer of hollow conductor made up of copper mesh, and then finally again a layer of insulation or the outer jacket. It is more flexible than the twisted pair cable and is used in a variety of data transmission applications. Some applications are television network, LAN, and long-distance telephone communication. Next is the optical fiber. Optic means light. So, an optical fiber transmits data in the form of light signals. it means that it is the fastest because in this case the data travels with the speed of light. It is also cylindrical in shape and consists of three essential parts. The innermost part is called core. It is made up of glass and carries the light signals. Then is the cladding. It is the middle layer covering the core and helps in keeping the light inside the core. The third part is called the jacket. It is the outermost layer and is the shock absorber, which means that just like your jacket saves you from the environmental changes like cold, this jacket saves the inner delicate parts of the wire from pressure and environmental changes and saves it from breakage. Our next and final topic is cutting-edge technologies. Cutting-edge technology means most recent, most advanced technologies in computer science. It is also called leading-edge technology. In computer networking, which is a subfield of computer science, some of the cutting-edge technologies are cellular communication, satellite communication, global positioning system, and Bluetooth. Now let's study each of these in detail. First is the cellular communication. A cellular network is a radio communication network spread over land through cells. It means that in a cellular network, land is divided into cells. Each cell is the area in which base station transmits the radio signals. Base stations are actually transceivers, which means that it transmits signals in the form of radio signals. Now each transmitter or base station transmits radio signals in its cell. If a person moves from one cell to another, then his user equipment like mobile phone is able to communicate without any interruption. Examples of cellular network are 3G and 4G. And you know that these networks are not free and you are charged for it. But if you subscribe to different packages, you can get some advanced features such as it has a greater capacity compared to the other solutions. It uses less battery. It covers large geographic area and you can have access to data in very remote areas where other forms of wired communications are usually not available. Besides, it has less interference. Next is the satellite communication. It is also wireless communication consisting of satellites. Satellites are objects orbiting around the Earth. Satellite contains transponder. Transponder receives signals and amplifies it, which means that it increases its amplification or strength and sends it to receivers at different locations on Earth. Satellites are positioned around the Earth such that it covers communication all around the world. A cricket match happening in England is brought to you live using satellite communication. Similarly, aircraft, ships, and other movable vehicles uses satellite communication. Next is Global Positioning System or the GPS. A GPS also uses satellites for communication. It consists of navigation satellites which are orbiting around the Earth and are positioned such that their signals cover the whole world. It is used to tell the exact position of something in the Earth. For example, a car is moving on the Earth and has an onboard device that supports GPS. The GPS receiver in the satellite can receive the signals from that car and calculates the position and speed and time of that vehicle. Initially, the system was made by military for the use of military only in 1960s, but it was made available for the civilians as well in 1980s. Now it is freely available for airlines, shipping companies, and other vehicle drivers to track their vehicles. Next time when you're moving around in your car, open your Google Maps in your mobile phone and see GPS in action. Next is Bluetooth. Bluetooth is another new technology which are used to transmit data between fixed and mobile electronic devices. Fixed electronic devices are those devices which cannot be moved around easily, whereas mobile electronic devices are movable. Bluetooth can only transmit data over quite short distance wirelessly. The range or distance of Bluetooth network depends upon the type of device. It creates a personal link between two or more devices and asks for permission before creating a connection. You must be having Bluetooth in your mobile phones. Try sending a picture using Bluetooth to your sibling or parent's phone. This was all about computer networks. Now try solving the exercise on your own.